Ms. Pate.
Under Dockets, likewise, are
Court also does not believe there's a conflict either under the Michigan court rules or the cases decided they were under. To the extent a conflict does exist, given the waivers, the court will consent to hear the matters. Court does call the case of the People versus Linda Powell.
that's one of the people.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning, Robert Jacob on behalf of Ms. Powell. Judge stays time date for pretrial. I believe we worked out an agreement like to put a plea on the record.
All right.
That's correct. Their offer is to plead to the added count 2 of disturbing the peace and a misdemeanor $500 fine contrary to MCL 750170 with restitution of $35 being made today. Count 1 will be dismissed.
That's our understanding. My client signed advice to right. She knows she has a right to trial. Waive that. She's going to disturb the peace by not following a command and stop when she tried to take the store. She got $35.
You're going to put the proofs on her?
Pardon me?
No. Yeah, I know you're trying to be, I don't know what you're trying to be. So the only question I had is the $500 restitution today, is that to the court or
Please, if you're only $35.
$35?
Yes,
Okay.
So mine is to make that in order of God, she gets to the court of restitution.
Very good. You got anything else, Mr. Cole, to say? No? All right, may I have her sworn?
You saw us with our testimony about the whole truth.
Yes.
Ma'am, it is this court's understanding that you're going to be pleading guilty to the charge of disturbing the peace. It's a misdemeanor punishable by up to 90 days incarceration, up to a $500 fine plus court costs. Do you understand that? Understanding that, you still wish to plead guilty?
Yes.
And to that charge, how do you plead? Now, you understand that by pleading guilty, you'll not have a trial of any kind.
Yes.
All right, you signed an advice of rights form, is that correct?
Yes.
Any questions regarding those rights?
No.
Please look at paragraph 5 on that form. Those are your rights, which are part of a trial. You understand that by pleading guilty, you'll be giving up those rights as well as all the rights on that form.
Yes.
You understand you're giving up your right to appeal of right. Are you on probation or parole? Anybody promise you anything other than what's been stated here today? Anybody threaten you or coerce you? You're doing this voluntarily of your own free will. All right, because you believe that you are indeed guilty. On the date of July 15, 2024, at the location of Home Depot, I think 3300 Carpenter Road, what happened that makes you think that you're guilty of disturbing the peace?
Going up the store without paying, and I ignored the order to stop. I just kept moving.
And everything, it was loud or was it noisy?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. And you would admit that that disturbed the peace and repose of the area immediately surrounding you. All right, counsel, have I complied with the court rule? Would it be proper to accept this defendant?
People satisfied.
Yes, Your
Court will accept the defendant's plea of guilty to count 2. Count 1 is dismissed.
Judge with the court, I'll consider immediate sentence. My client does have $35 to pay restitution.
Any objection from the people?
I leave it in the court's discretion.
Ma'am, is there anything you want to say before I impose sentence?
No, I'm just sorry it happened.
Sentence of the court, fines and costs of $350, $35 restitution. The restitution is payable today, and I'll suspend 90 days in jail. When can you pay the $350?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow? You can pay $300, okay. Pay that by March 20th, 2025. And the restitution is payable today. All right?
Does she just go up to the counter and pay that $35? No other questions. Thank you.
You're welcome. Always a pleasure. Court calls the case, People versus Douglas Hurd.
Especially Lonnie for the people.
Hello, Judge Murray Duffy, here on behalf of Douglas Hurd, who is to my right.
All right, good morning. All right, what are we doing on this case?
Your Honor, there has been an offer extended to the defendant where upon a plea guilty to count 2, failure to stop and report a $1,000 accident, a 90-day misdemeanor $100 fine with 0 points, contrary to 257622. And a previous plea of responsible to a failure to stop within a short clear distance yesterday. Count 1 will be dismissed, the 6 month.
So you're adding a count 2 of failure to stop at a property damage accident.
I am the 0 point, 257622.
257622. All right.
Yesterday, the defendant pled responsible at a formal hearing with a related, a ticket that was related to the same incident, through his attorney. So this is part of that same agreement.
Got it. Is that a correct statement?
Yes,
Counsel?
it is, Judge.
All right. And sir, could you raise your right hand, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth shall help you God?
Yes.
All right. State your name for the record, please.
Douglas William Hurd Jr.
All right. Says court's understanding you're going to plead guilty to an added count to a failure to stop at a property damage accident, the 0 pointer.
Yes.
All right. That is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 90 days, $500 fine plus court costs. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Understanding all that, still wish to plead guilty?
Yes.
And to that charge, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Now, you understand that by pleading guilty, you will not have a trial of any kind.
Yes.
You had previously signed an advice of rights form, is that correct?
Yes, I did.
Any question regarding any of those rights?
No.
All right. Under paragraph 5, those are your trial rights. You understand that you're giving up those rights as well as all the rights on that form.
Yes.
You understand you're giving up your right to appeal of right.
Yes.
Are you on probation or parole?
No.
Has anybody promised you anything other than what's been stated here today on the record to get you to plead?
No.
Anybody threaten you or coerce you?
No.
You're doing this voluntarily and of your own free will?
Yes.
And also because you believe that you're indeed guilty of this offense?
Yes.
On December 19, 2024, at the location of US 23 near Washington Avenue, Pittsfield Township, Washington County, State of Michigan, were you operating a motor vehicle?
Yes.
Were you involved in an accident of some type?
Yes, I was.
What happened?
I was coming down to US 23 and I got in an accident and I stopped and made sure everybody asked me if everything was all right. They said, yeah. I had breathing problems. I just went home and because I had breathing problems and because I've been taking breathing treatments and
Okay. So at the accident, you stopped briefly.
Yes, I did.
Did you provide any identifying information or other, you tried to render assistance, but did you provide identifying information or insurance information?
No, I did not.
Did you immediately report that accident to the nearest and most convenient police station?
No, I did not.
Was the total amount of damage caused in excess of $1,000?
Yes, I would
All
say.
right, counsel, have I complied with the court rule? Would it be proper to accept this defendant's plea?
People are satisfied.
Defense is satisfied, Judge.
Court will accept the defendant's plea to count 2. Count 1 is dismissed. Are there issues involving restitution on this, sir?
I think it's being covered by the insurance, but Mr. Douglas may be able to give more insight to that.
Judge, as far as I know, the damages to the other vehicle were covered by insurance.
Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to refer the defendant to probation just for a pre-sentence investigation and possible restitution. sentencing in this matter will be
30th at 12 p.m.
April 30th, 2025 at
12.
noon?
Yes.
Who did that?
We have trials.
Okay. Apparently it doesn't matter. April 30th, 12 noon.
At noon.
All right.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you. Sir, if you can hold the line for a second so we can get the probation part of this. I'm going to put you into a breakout room briefly with probation intake so they can give you information, okay?
Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you, sir. Always a pleasure.
All right.
Court calls the case of the people versus Aaron Salazar.
That's a lot of people.
Good morning, Your Honor. David Shand, on behalf of Aaron Salazar, should be in court with you.
He is. And why aren't you? Never mind. Never mind. Don't
I'm
answer.
in one row at the same time.
All right. Your name, sir? All right. As to the arraignment in this case,
We will waive formal reading and defendant will stand mute.
defendant having waived formal reading, standing mute, court will enter a not guilty plea. And what would you like to do on this?
Your Honor, as to Bond, he's a resident of Ann Arbor. He has a full-time job. This is his first offense. The alleged BAC in this case was .176. I would just ask your regular terms and conditions of bond be applied.
That is all correct, Your Honor. As far as I can tell, there was a single vehicle crash.
There was a crash
There
also.
was one.
All right. And I'll adjourn the pretrial to
April 2nd is the next one, for the 23rd.
2nd or 23rd.
Yes.
For April 2nd or 23rd, Mr. Shan.
Yeah, if you can give us the 23rd, I think that would be the best. That's your rolling time, or will it be at 9 o'clock?
I'll set it at 9, but then you'll get a block with.
Yeah.
All right.
Perfect.
So April 23rd, 2025, 9 a.m. As to bond in this case, I'll set his bond at a $15,000 personal recognizance bond. I'll order standard conditions, including no assaultive behavior or possession of any weapons. There is also no use of any alcohol, recreational marijuana, or any illegal drugs. You understand that, sir? I will also indicate that the defendant will report to community corrections for placement on the sober link tether. And I've signed that order now.
3 times a day, Your Honor.
Yes, it's 3 times per day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir.
Ashley, do you
And
have this
fast-
case?
Pardon?
Yes, I do, Mr. Shannon.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Salazar, stop out at the front counter, get your community corrections order. Since you're down here, you might want to stop over at the community. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Court does call the case, People versus Rick Artuso.
Here to be on behalf of Mr. Artuso, I'm standing in for the attorney of record, David Burgess, but I'm standing.
Why? Because Burgess didn't want to come see me?
I guess not.
Wow.
I mean, he's in.
Yes, he is. I do know he's down before Judge. He's down before Judge Slay.
Anyway, Mr. Artuso's not here. I do know that he has another case with Your Honor on April 3rd. I haven't had any communication with him. I'm wondering if maybe he's confused. I was just asked to stand in, so I don't have a lot of information.
And Your Honor, to me, it looks like he was arraigned on February 28th. And was given the state, so people with.
Yeah. All right. And it does look like, do you have warrants on them?
Yeah.
I have the other 2. Okay. So he has 2 other files here that he does have warrants on. So what I will do, I will issue a bench warrant for the defendant's failure to appear bond 5,000. I'll give a 10% privilege. This warrant will issue immediately. There being other warrants. Okay.
Thanks so much.
Thank you so much. And I enjoyed hearing from you more than Burgess. Let him know that.
Oh,
Okay. Well. Who would have known? Court does call the case. People versus Jason Allen.
Actually, want to go to people? On behalf of Mr. Allen, who should be appearing from Zoom from the Christian Guidance Center rehab. Is he on? No.
I've called all 9 of his cases and he's not on.
So, Your Honor, I did send a Zoom to the center. It was my understanding that he was going to be transferred to Dawn Farm this week. He had told me he was candidates that he didn't know if it would be before or after today. I only provided a Zoom link to the Christian Guidance Center. I did not provide a Zoom link to Dawn Farm. He could already be there. That may be the reason for his failure to log in.
My new date's the 2nd.
Yes.
I'll adjourn all of these, given those circumstances to
Thank you, sir.
April 2nd, 9 o'clock.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Court calls the case, People versus Zachary Burlett.
That's a lot of good people. This is public defender Natalie Jenkins, on behalf of Mr. Burlett, who is approaching.
Your name, sir?
Zachary Thomas.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. I was able to connect with Mr. Burlett about this case yesterday, and he is asking that I provide some documentation of his transitional housing in progress from Dawn Farm to the people in order to resolve this case. I did receive some of that from his transitional housing manager last night via email. I still need to review that and hope to provide it to the people and discuss this with them further. No objection.
Adjourn the matter to April 2nd, 2025, 9 a.m. or as your invite indicates. Okay. Thank you. Court does call the case, People versus Kyle Burmeister.
This is public defender People on behalf of Mr. Burmeister, who is approaching. Please state your name for the record, sir.
Kyle Brian Burmeister.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have discussed this matter with the people. This is a case where the allegations involve a sober that wasn't returned. I have just today been able to discuss this case with Mr. Burmeister, and I'm ultimately asking for an adjournment so I can further discuss the possibility of getting that sober link hopefully returned to corrections to resolve this case.
Okay. April 2nd, 2025, 9 a.m.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Time continued. Yes, sir. I'll see you tomorrow too, maybe. I don't know. That's the way you've been acting. Court does call the case, People versus, is it Dala Al-Nahas?
National Good People.
To show cause. This is an order to show cause. They are not present. Bench warrant will issue for defendant's failure to appear. Bond 5,000, 10%. That warrant will issue immediately. Court does call the case of the People versus Manuel Cox.
Sharon Foster, Tucker, on behalf of Danielle Cox, for appearing in Zoom.
Can you state your name, please?
Manuel Cox.
Thank you.
And Your Honor, I do believe we have a resolution in this law. Take this one, 1 second.
It is fine, Your Honor. And the offer is to add 2 counts of impeding traffic. 257676 B as in boy. Upon complete response to those 2 counts, the original count will be dismissed.
That's 180. Is that a correct statement?
Yes, that is my understanding, and Mr. Cox does wish to avail.
All right, Mr. Cox,
Yes, sir.
Do you admit responsibility to the fact that on December 19th, 2024, at the location of US 23 near 94 in Pittsfield Township, that on 2 occasions on that date and at that location that you impeded traffic?
Yes, sir.
Court will accept the admission of responsible to counts 2 and 3. Count 1 is dismissed. Fines and cost on each count is $180. That's a total of $360. When can you get that paid?
You said when can I get it paid?
Yes.
Can I pay it on the April 1st?
Payable April 1st, 2025. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Court calls the case, People versus Angela Walker.
Chairman Foster Tucker on behalf of Angela Walker.
Your name?
Angela Walker.
Thank you.
And Your Honor, the offer has been extended to the defendant. It's really like a choice. The offer is to either plead to currently charge count 2 OWI and count 3 child abuse in the court of 3, or dismissing count 1, or to plead to an added count 4 OWI occupant under 16 and dismiss counts 1, 2, and 3, leaving it up to the defendant to choose those 2 options.
And Your Honor, I did receive that offer yesterday afternoon, and I have discussed it with Ms. Walker. She does wish for a little bit of time to consider that offer. We only had since yesterday afternoon to discuss it.
That's absolutely true, Your Honor. No objection, of course.
April 2nd, 2025, 9 a.m. or is your invite indicates. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, the final case requires the party interpreter. May please swear in this hand.
Yes,
Morning,
absolutely.
Madam Interpreter, can you please unmute and raise your right hand to be sworn? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that you'll interpret accurately, completely, and impartially, using your best skill and judgment, and to translate from English into Farsi and from Farsi into English in the manner now before the court to help you God?
I do.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning, Madam Interpreter.
Good morning, Your Honor.
You almost forgot the language, Ann.
It's about Spanish.
It was about to be Spanish. Okay. Court does call the case, People versus Golham Gambari.
Good morning.
سلام آقای قنبری، صبحتون بخیر. من اینجا هستم که الان برای شما ترجمه بکنم.
Ashley Long before the people.
این خانم‌ها دارن خودشون رو معرفی میکنن، کسایی که از طرف دادگاه هستن.
And Cheryl Foster Tucker on behalf of Gambari.
همینطور این خانم که وکیل هستن.
And Your Honor, we're requesting our final settlement conference date.
ایشون دارن درخواست میکنن که دیگه امروز جلسه‌ای باشه که همه چی حل بشه.
Jury final settlement conference will be set April 11th, 2025, 9 a.m.
که جلسه رو گفتن که 11 اپریل میشه ساعت 9 صبح.
Jury selection, if necessary, will be set April 14th, 2025 at 8:30.
اگه که احتیاج باشه که اون گروه همون جوری رو برای شما انتخاب بکنن، اون میشه 14 اپریل ساعت 8:30 صبح. ولی اگر که احتیاج باشه که اونا خبر میدن.
Both of those proceedings are in person. His bond will continue.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
که هر دوتاش باید بیاین توی دادگاه. بعداً هم باندو معلوم میکنن که چقدر هستش. اوکی، تشکر. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Interpreter. Wonderful job as usual. Do
Thank you
appreciate
so
it.
much. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Take care. Is that it for that bond? Wow. Despite Alan, I did well. Court stands in recess.